Okay, day 2 here. I am in the Nebraska National Forest, Bessey Ranger District, I think. I am down some god-awful long, very narrow road. And again, it was late when I came in. It was almost dark. And actually, I tried to get here sooner, but I got pulled over for speeding because I was in a hurry. I was like, 15 miles away from here, and I come over one of those rolling hills of Nebraska. Sorry, it's windy. I come over one of the rolling hills, and there's 2 cops sitting there chatting with each other with their radar on. And sure enough, he whips around and follows me and turns his lights on. And then I had the joy of sitting there explaining for, 20, 30 minutes why half of my life is in this SUV. So, yeah. This is what I woke up to. It's just a regular national forest. It's pretty cold. It's like 56 degrees. And then, they start questioning me and everything. It's not like I haven't been pulled over for speeding, but not like this before. Half of my life is in here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. It's so stupid. But of course they had to grill me and ask me why all this stuff was in there. Asked me if I was hiding El Chapo back there and shit. I'm like, no. Isn't he dead or something? I'm like, what the hell? Sorry, my finger's getting in the way. I don't have it on my thing. I can't even talk. I haven't had any coffee. I don't want to set up anything here, my table or anything, because I guess there's a horse something down there, and in the middle of the night some truck came flying by, and then again at 6 a.m. another truck came flying by. I mean, this is a really windy, yucky, sandy road, and it says right when coming in that 4-wheel drive only. This is not 4-wheel drive, it's all-wheel drive. I just took my chances. But I mean, it's one lane, and I've got to leave that way. That's the way I came, and I got to go back that way. And I'm just hoping I don't come across one of these trucks who are just barreling down through here. So yeah, that was my excitement. Oh, and I kind of almost got lost because Google Maps, and so, oh god, the wind. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know how to block the microphone. So, yeah, I had to stop in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska. And thankfully, another little earth angel was there to help me. And she set me straight. I don't know what Google's thinking. But I'm here. Another night in another state. I made it almost 500 miles. But I'm still not as far as I want to be. I got so tired yesterday. I was driving, and Nebraska is just really, really big and really boring, and the sun was shining and beating down into the car on me, and after a while I just got really super tired. I had to stop and eat an apple and some cheese and walk around a little bit, and I knew I was going to try to make it to Crawford, which there's a national forest up by Crawford, but there was no way. That's another 2 hours away, and the sun was setting, so I could only make it to this first forest here in Nebraska. So, sorry, I'm sniffling, the wind's going. What an update, right? Okay, well, there was a trailhead further up when I was coming in. I should have parked in the trailhead parking lot. That would have been so much easier, but I thought, well, you know, maybe there's something further back, and well, this is what I got. And this was the first pullout, and the only pullout that I've seen. Oh, and when I came and I was first, you know, sitting here, a truck, I was coming this way, and so I kind of did a 3-point turn, and I faced myself the other way. And as I was doing that, a truck came from this direction, and they were coming from that horse camp, and they asked me if I was okay. Asked me if I was lost. So there are people around here, and I just hope I can get all the way out this road without anybody coming in my direction, because that's going to be hairy. I mean, this is the widest area. Everything else is really small. Something's making noise over here. What is that? I don't know what kind of animal's making that noise. Oh, there it is. It's a bird there in that tree. Doesn't exactly sound like a woodpecker, but he's chirping away. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's too far away, I guess. There he is. You can see him. Right there. Right there, maybe? He'd move again. And another train. I was parked next to another train. And oh my God, the moths. There was no mosquitoes, but the moths were horrible. And because I had to have my window cracked, they were coming in. And I had turned on my computer to start editing the videos that I took yesterday. And so I had to have ventilation, and I swear to God, I probably killed 50 moths in there. Thank goodness I brought my fly swatter. The round cart place is probably not going to be happy. All those little black spots up there, that's all moth dust. It's all over the place. All that moth dust. They were flying everywhere. You can see some of the carcasses down here. So, it was not a very fun night. And I didn't sleep well again. Super uncomfortable in this little front seat. But yeah, I can't even really make any coffee right now. I just need to get out of this area and get down that road, and maybe I'll go to the that trailhead or something and set up my table and make some coffee. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know I'm not used to going without coffee, but for right now I'm just gonna eat an apple and get the heck out of here. Okay guys, talk to you later. Bye. That's what I forgot to mention. The reason why it upset me so much when they pulled me over is because they were delaying my getting here, for one thing. And, you know, they gave me a speeding ticket. It's like $75. I've got to go online and pay that. And they were nice. They were nice enough, but this is a very unusual sight to see. And, you know, I can't blame them. They're looking in here going, what the hell is this, you know? But they wanted to search the car. After all that, after all they put me through, they wanted to search the car. And I'm like, I don't have time. The sun is setting. I've got like 10 minutes to get to the National Forest and to find a dispersed camping. And he kept saying, oh, it'll be fine, you know, it's Tuesday and they're not busy. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to the campground. And it was like, well, do you have any marijuana and blah, 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 and anything illegal? I'm like, no. And that's when he asked about El Chapo. I'm like, no. And he's like, well, can I ask you what are all these bottles? And I'm going, oh God, oh no. I said, those are my supplements. I said, I've been treating myself for cancer for a long time. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah. And so I broke it out and I showed him all of these, and see, I didn't have enough room for everything. So eventually I had to start putting stuff in little Ziploc bags. I have little Ziploc bags because I didn't have enough room for all my bottles. I take a lot of supplements. I mean, a lot. And so I had to sit here and explain everything. And of course, the best part was when I got to the medicinal mushrooms, which I'm taking shaga right now. And he's like, mushrooms? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what kind? I said, shaga. He's like, what? And so I had to spell it for him. I had to explain it to him. He wanted to know. And see, I encapsulate a lot of my own powders, so they're not like in original bottles. So he wanted to know if I have the original packaging and all this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, come on, dude, I've got to go. And I mean, they were being nice, but they were trying to find something. And like, dude, he had his gloves on. They were ready to search the car, and I wouldn't let him. I just wouldn't let him. I'm like, I've got to go. I really have to go. But I did sit here long enough, and I answered all their questions. I was really nice. I was, you know, as patient as I could be while I was literally watching the sunset right next to me. And I looked at him at one point. I'm like, are you going to escort me to the National Forest? Because it's getting late. So yeah, that was my excitement. Oh, and of course, I roll my own cigarettes. So he wanted to know. He's like, what's in that little metal box? I'm like, what metal box? At first, I didn't know what he was talking about. And he pointed there. I'm like, oh, those are my cigarettes. He said, you keep your cigarettes in there? And I opened it for him. I'm like, yeah, I roll my own cigarettes. And he's like, oh, okay. He saw that they were indeed that. And I just had to laugh. I'm like, holy crap. So yeah. That was my excitement, and I'm just going to have to watch my speed now. I'm not in the mood to get pulled over anymore. I don't have time to get pulled over. I mean, that literally took a half an hour out of my day, 20 minutes to a half an hour, when I could have just been there. And if I would have gone a little bit slower, I guess maybe it would have evened out, because I was going fast. They give you 65 on the back roads here, and I was going 80. Actually, I thought I was going 80, and he said he clocked me at like 82. But when he came up and asked me, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, yeah, I was speeding. He said, yeah. I said, he goes, well, do you know how fast you were going? I said, yeah, probably 80 or something. He's like, no, I had you at 82 or 83. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I just kept apologizing. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I know I was speeding. I'm trying to get to the National Forest. And for that, he did give me a break, because I guess the tickets that they give depend on how fast you're going. So instead of 82 or whatever, he put me as going like 74, which took me down a notch, so the price of the ticket isn't as high as it would have been. And he said he did that because I was being honest with him. So, you know, honesty does pay, I guess, because it could have been a lot more. I think it was like $75 ticket. I guess it could have been a lot more than that. So I appreciate what he did, and I appreciate them being nice to me and everything. But it was just, I was in a hurry, and ugh. And yeah, I guess I should have expected the 3rd degree. I mean, this is sitting here right in the open, and I had to explain to them that I'm becoming nomadic, and why I've got everything in here, and I mean, I'm pointing out everything. I'm like, yeah, and that's my power station, and I showed them how it worked and everything. I turned it on for them and showed them how to work. And they were like, oh, cool, you know. I mean, everybody seems to be real fascinated by this nomadic lifestyle. So, whatever. Alright, I gotta get out of here. Hopefully that'll be the last part of this video. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so I made it out of that windy, crappy National Forest road. This is the picnic area. It's like a day use. So I took the apex down there to that picnic table there. That dirty windshield again. They got picnic tables all over the place. So I took the apex down there with my electric hot plate and warmed up my water. I should have brought my smaller 500 watt electric hot plate because I really don't like lugging this apex around for something so small as, you know, warming up some water. I have my butane stove, but it's tucked away, and you know, I'm just traveling very fast, and so that's kind of a pain in the butt. But here we are. It's like, I don't know, 8:30 or something. I just changed my clothes and made my coffee and all that. I'm not gonna eat this morning, which is probably a mistake, but I'm just not hungry, and I want to get on the road sooner than I did yesterday and the day before, so that maybe I'm not running into this, you know, late traveling stuff. There are people all around me. There's people behind me too in a little parking area. So yeah, back on the road. I will be in Wyoming this evening. I'm not quite sure where. My whole schedule's been screwed up, and I kind of had camping spots plotted out along the way at certain mile points, but now that I'm behind, I kind of screwed that up. So I'm probably gonna have to stop somewhere and look at the map, and I've got Campendium on my phone. I've got their app. I may have to go in there and look for another boondocking site. If nothing else, I'll just try another state park. I'm not quite sure where 500 miles is from here. I think it's right around Casper, Wyoming. See, I was supposed to be in Crawford, Nebraska right now, and then the next stop would have been in right around Jackson. But I'm not going to be able to make it that far, I don't think. So, I'm not quite sure. Might be stopping in Casper, Wyoming. The next stop. I don't know. I know I'm really far behind. And I have to have this rental back Thursday evening, so I gotta hurry. But no more speeding. Or at least, you know, not much, right? Okay, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.